Hello and welcome to the Nebula live stream for the Austrian Grand Prix Round 9. You're joined by myself, Arava, and today in the commentary box with me we've got Zach, or Zesty Oranges.
Yes.
And, well, right now we're in a bit of a waiting period. We're just getting the server set up. We had a few issues ahead of the live stream with rFactor 2 not working as it should. Nothing new there, really, but hopefully we can get underway pretty soon for what will be Q1 of Round 9 of Nebula Racing League. Zach, obviously you're a lot more knowledgeable about the league than I am right now, so do you have any first comments about the race up ahead, the weekend up ahead?
Well, it looks like it's going to be close between all the drivers, but I think Craig will probably still end up with pole. But it'll still be very, very, very close.
Right. So, in terms of the drivers' standings, just pulling this up here. So, obviously, maybe there may be some people joining us who don't know what Nebula Racing is. So, these guys have been racing for quite some time now. This is their 2017 season, obviously. We've got Craig Baxter leading the championship with a whopping 168 points to the next best, Sam Carpenter, with 91. So, you thought Vettel was bad, or you thought Hamilton or Rosberg's dominance was bad. This is much, much more. It's going to be quite a task for anyone to beat Craig, but we'll see. We'll hope, and we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I guess Sam on his day could do it. Surely, I think.
Yeah.
It's just about if he gets that day. I don't know if it's going to be his day today or not.
Well, he had the one win in Monaco this season.
All right. Okay.
But that's been about it. It's apart from Craig, it is pretty close. Looking at the rest of the grid, obviously Sam and Scott Davison equal on points on 91, and then followed a few drivers, Johan Harth and Kieran Chadwick.
Right.
Only separated by 6 points.
6 points.
So it's fairly close.
Very, very close there. So we're going to get underway here, it looks like. So you can hear the cars rumbling, and we're going to remove the overlay here, and we are live on the session. I'm now going to try and attempt to switch to some people. We're looking at a car in the garage. One sec. Right, there we go. We are now looking at Craig on board here. Just going to adjust the volume here, as I think it's a tad loud. But we're on board with Craig right now. This is Q1.
So yeah, so obviously the top 10 drivers after this session will advance to Q2, the battle for pole position.
So that's the top 10 going through. So we've got a full 14 runners here today, or 13? 13, I think.
13, yeah.
Yeah, 13 runners here today. I can see Nino in chat, revving up the man like Arava. Yep, we're at the moment, you can see we're at the top, but that'll just be because we're spectating. Right now we're on board with Craig. Obviously, as I mentioned, he's leading the championship by some way. So let's just stay on board and let's check out his lap and see how he goes. This will be his first flying attempt. The drivers haven't really had too much practice, to be honest, for this session, as we've had issues with rFactor and loading up the stream. So this is going to be quite a cold lap for Craig, and we've got Crane coming out of the pit lane, and Craig narrowly just squeezes through there. But as he runs up the hill, let's see if there's going to be any lock-up up the hill. Tricky braking zone, nice and easy. Second gear, get the traction out, get the power down, and then he comes through to the second sector. We'll see how it goes with that. Still trying to work on the audio so we can see how I can turn this down. I don't know how the audio is, so if you can let me know in chat how the audio is for you guys on your end.
Like, I can tell that it's going to be very interesting in terms of traffic as well, because this track is so short.
Yeah.
Getting that first lap and getting it done is going to be very, very important. That's why Craig was the first one out, but obviously still got traffic with Crane coming out the pit lane.
Yeah, for sure. And especially that Q2 then is going to be massively intense, because it's only 6 minutes long, correct? So I think it's going to be, well, they'll have enough for maybe 2 runs, maybe just about, but they're only allowed 1, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so Craig sets his time, pulls over. So we'll see if he's happy with that at the end of the day. Kian also just set his lap there. Is there anyone else on track? Let's have a look. We're on board now with Evan Rice in the Sabre Racing car. Crosses the line. Will that be for his to start his flying lap? Yeah, he just finished it.
Yeah, that was his lap.
Yeah, he just finished it. So at the moment we've got Craig in second place. We've got Kem in first. Kian.
Yeah, Jem looks like he's on pace with Craig, so that'll be an interesting battle between the both of them.
For sure. Right, so right now we're on looking at Evan Rice in the Sabre Racing car, coming out for a second flying lap. We've got Mac coming out for his lap. Davidson coming out for his lap. Ooh, a little bit off on the grass at the exit. So he goes back out. Let's see anyone else on track. We've got White in the Vulcan Racing red car out on his lap right now. Gone through the first sector. Let's see second sector split when it comes to it, and we'll see what he can pop in. At the moment, he is in third place, so not too shabby at the moment. And then behind him on track is Kilipinen. I think I pronounced that completely wrong.
Oh, we'll just go with Yuso.
I'll go with Yuso, yeah. That's a good idea. Good idea. Good idea. We'll go with Yuso. Right, so Kian starts his flying lap now into turn 1. No drama there. A little bit on the curbing, but that's fine. And then he pulls up.
Yeah, he
So
got
stopped
on the grass here, I think. Yep. That's been a very good lap there for Kian. Put himself in third. That'll
do him nicely. That'll do him nicely.
Mm.
At the moment, we've got I'm now looking at Craig in second place, going for another lap here to try and see. Obviously, it's not going to be too much of an issue, him just being in second. That'll get him through to Q2. But just get that bit of extra practice, as we mentioned. These drivers really haven't had too much practice just before the service started. So I guess if you can just run another lap, it's just more practice, really.
Yeah, I guess it's doing as many laps as you can, getting up the speed that they had in practice maybe a couple of days ago.
For sure. So now Craig crosses the line, and he's going to start his flying lap according to the heads-up display in the bottom left there. You can see the sector times actually, S1, S2, and S3 obviously. So if you just want to follow along with those times as well, whereas instead of just looking at what's happening. But we're going to just keep on board with Craig here and watch him go round the lap, see if he can do anything to topple Jem in first place at the moment.
Yeah, they'll probably be looking to get into the 1 minute 4s, if lucky.
Right, 1 minute 4s. Okay, then. At the moment, we've got
Is
Evan. Evan going into second place at the moment, so Evan Rice does pretty damn well.
Yeah, so there's a bit of room for improvement for both of them.
For sure, and then we've got a lot of cars coming out the pit lane just now. 2 cars exit. It's going to be Jem, and also I think that was the other car, Yuso, I think.
Yep, this is where the traffic is going to start to
there's a lot of traffic into Sector
heavily.
1. A lot of traffic into Sector 1 here. Now we've got Chadwick coming out in the beautiful Korean racing team car. You didn't mishear that. I did say Korean racing team car. And we've got a spin!
Oh.
We've got a spin. That was Lorenz going off there into turn 1. Looks like he just snapped on the curb on the exit. And so now he's back in the garage and going out once again quickly. Carpenter also follows him out down the pit lane as we got Yuso crossing the line. I think he's set a lap. Can't quite tell from here.
I think he's just starting one. And
just starting one. And so now we've got Lorenz and Carpenter going out to start their out laps. And Shepherd is up and ahead of Chadwick now into 7th place. At the moment, it's Craig now on top with Shem second. Kian White in 3rd, Evan Rice in 4th, and we've got Baxter pulling up there as he's obviously finished his lap now. We've got Daniel Potter going into 11th now, setting a lap time finally. Obviously, you can see on the left-hand side, man like Arava and Zach Jones are clearly not racing. We're the 2 commentators, so just, obviously those will go down the order to 14th and 15th, obviously. Right now, at the moment, we're just taking a look at Lorenz, who's on his out lap in
he's yet to set a lap.
Yet to set a lap.
He'll have to.
So
he'll have to get going.
He's racing for Zesty Racing, which I can't quite tell which team that is, really. I hate to...
An amazing team.
I hate to guess who owns that team, Mr. Zach Zesty Oranges Jones. But he's going to start his flying lap, and hopefully he can be at least a lap time to set. He hasn't set one yet, so hopefully he can just get on the board at least and try and at least pop into the top 10 to get into Q2. We've only got 4.5 minutes left. So, not long to go, but obviously, as Zach mentioned, short lap, so there's time. And as we cycle through the cars, we've got Daniel Potter just going out for his another attempt. At the moment, he's in 11th place with a 107.497. We've got Nick Brackey in the Phoenix sim racing car in 10th place with the 106.2 going out for his lap. We've got Kevin Cox in 9th place. Looks like he's just about to finish his time, but he just went a little bit wide there. And he's going to pull up and he's going to abandon the lap because I believe that would have been caught for track extending. Kieran Chadwick sets 7th fastest now, ahead of Max Shepard. And then we've got Chem going up into 1st place ahead of Craig Baxter now. So they're swapping positions.
The fours.
Into the fours.
There we go.
Very interesting there. So yeah.
Very close in the midfield there. Kean White leading the field, separated by less than a tenth from 3rd down to even 5th, I think.
Yeah, well, at the moment, Kean White's been pushed down to 5th. That is. And then ahead of him, Lorenz finally sets a lap time with a 105.1. Yes. And then we've got Sam Carpenter with a 105.077. So very, very close indeed. Only like, literally a tenth between that.
Yeah. And
then ahead of them, bit of a gap then. Then we've got 104 for Chem. 104.973 to be exact. And then Craig Baxter with a 104.914. So very, very tight between those two. So shaping up to be, hopefully, a pretty close race there, as it looks like Craig maybe just... no, he parks it back in the garage. At the moment, we've got Chem on a lap. Don't know if it's a hot lap at the moment. We'll have to see at the lap time when it comes through. But very lovely livery, kind of mocking the 2016 Ferrari there, sort of. Don't know if that's what they're exactly going for. But I believe Chem just came in for... He's come in for this race, so he doesn't technically have an official team name. He's just Group 1. What a name.
He's just doing a few one-off races, I think.
Okay, right, yeah. So it's sort of like a super sub almost into the season.
Yeah.
So Chem is going to start his lap, this will be. So into turn 1. Nicely does it. And run up the hill, obviously. And let's see. Let's compare the sector time. Hopefully we can get that. I don't know if that's a possibility on this heads-up display. Let's see if it's going to give us a sector time and we can compare, perhaps. As we're going through still to the end of Sector 1, it's going to be a little bit of time till we go down this main second back straight, I guess you could say, into the tight twisting sector. It's going to be 1/10, just about rounding down, 1/10 faster than his last time in Sector 1. So improving there, that's going to be enough already to beat Craig, unless Craig is going faster as well. Let's have a look there. Craig's just exiting the pits now. So at the moment, this will be Chem on to get first place in the session with only less than, just getting to 1.5 minutes gone. And it's again an improvement, just under half a tenth improvement there as he chucks into the right-hander, swooping right-hander down to the final corner, a little bit over the bump, and then we're going to see, is it going to be enough to bottle the top of Baxter, and is it going to be P1?
Oh.
It crosses the line, and that is bloody close there between Chem and Baxter. It is a 104.916 for Chem, and the previous best was a 104.941. So literally 0.00002 between these drivers. That is so close. So close.
Jem was very quick to get straight back out the pit lane then.
Yep.
Back onto the track because he knows that he's going to run out of time. He'll only have one more opportunity to set a lap.
So Craig is going to start his flying lap here. And so he's going to try and improve on his already fastest time. Let's take a look a little bit down the order. We can see Sam in 4th place. Sam Campbell at 4th place. Lawrence in 4th now. Yeah, Sam's moved up to 3rd. Kean White in 5th place. Scott Davidson 6th. Evan Rice in 7th. We've got then Kieran Chadwick in the Korean racing team in 8th place, setting a lap time right now. So let's just stay on board with him and see if he improves his lap time. That's the midfield battle. That's actually at the tail end of the top 10, obviously. So those guys all battling to get into Q2.
Yeah, the battle for those crucial places in the top 10. It's going to be quite close between Bracky, Potter, Shepard, even Crane as well.
Yeah, as Kieran does improve slightly on his Sector 1 time, so we'll check back with him. Shepard at the moment in the pits, so he's confident. Let's see Potter as he goes through. I think it's been a slower first sector. Faster second sector. Oh, what on earth has happened there? He's lost the back end and he's hit the pit wall. So that is the session ended. Is going to be Craig Baxter in first place. The guys knocked out are Nick Bracky, Adam Crane, and then Yuso, who doesn't even set a time, I think, as he finishes behind man like Arava, who's, of course, myself. So, okay, interesting stuff.
He had 12 attempts.
Interesting stuff. 12 attempts and still didn't set a lap time. Interesting. Right, so that is the end of the session then. So, once again, if you're just joining us, it's going to be Nick Bracky knocked out with Adam Crane. And, obviously, Yuso, as we just mentioned there, did not set a lap time in the end. And then we've got
Weird.
Kevin Cox also. Yeah, Kevin Cox also. He sets in the time right at the death for 11th place. So not good enough to get in the top 10. So the top 10 are Craig Baxter, Cem Bulbalski, Sam Carpenter, Lawrence Doherty, I think, Kian White, Scott Davidson, Evan Rice, Kieran Chadwick, Max Shepard, and then Daniel Potter. So that's your top 10. Moving forward into Q2. And Nino in the chat. Let's read a bit of the chat a little bit, see what's going on. Plenty of L's for the people out. A little bit harsh, guys. Car control non-existent, apparently, according to Tommy26. And now if Nino TV goes 12 laps, no time, laughing my fucking ass out. It's the top 8, sorry, that advanced to Q2, I should say.
Oh, top 8, yeah.
My mistake. So Max Shepard is also out, and Daniel Potter is also out. So the top 8 go through. So that's Baxter, Jem, Sam Carpenter, Lawrence, Kian White, Scott Davidson, Evan Rice, and Kieran Chadwick. I'm not biased at all, but good work, Chadwick. Good work. You may or may not see my logo on the side of his car, but don't worry, that won't interfere with the commentary this afternoon, okay? There's going to be no bias towards the Korean racing team.
Yeah, there's a bit worried about the bias. There's one person that sponsors a team and one person that owns a team.
It's an interesting commentary duo, to be honest, but don't worry, there's going to be absolutely no bias. This isn't a Korean commentary, so don't worry, there's going to be no propaganda or anything like that, don't worry.
Lorenz did well. He's into Q2. That's winning.
Yes, but yeah, it is so tight in those top 2. It is so tight in those top 2. And so now I'm going to, a little bit off topic from the stream, I'm going to now post the video live on my channel. If you don't know, I am a YouTuber, and I'm going to post the video live that I'm actually streaming this race. So we may get an influx of viewers here, Zach. So get prepared. Get your body ready for some nerves, because there may be some more people joining us soon. But incredibly close stuff in the top 2 there. Literally, as we said, less than half a tenth, even less than a
3,000, I think.
Yeah, less than 20% of a tenth between Craig Baxter and Cem in second place there. The super sub, as I'm going to say. So now we're advancing through to Q2. The session's going to go live very, very soon here. So are you ready? Are you ready? Where's AOR? I don't know what that is. I only know Nebula. So we're going to get ready for the session. The session is going live. You can see the drivers there on the right-hand side going out and getting ready. They're all parking up there. Ooh, we got Cem going side by side. Bit of a Tesco car lot there. Right now
he's edging toward Craig. But Craig's the first one out.
On board with the drivers. We're going to go on board as they go out, because look at this spectacle from on board of Scott Davidson's car. You can see up ahead, you've got Kian White, nose to tail with Evan Rice. And all these cars going out. Craig, the front of the train, Zach. So clearly he wants to get out there and, you know, do the business straight away. Obviously, traffic's going to be an issue. Traffic's definitely going to be an issue there.
And the person still... there are 2 drivers, Lorenz and Kieran, are yet to go out.
Okay, so they may be obviously waiting for some clean air. Maybe clever. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, as you can see on screen, obviously, all the drivers just going out for their hot lap, for their out lap. So they're going to probably want to try and space out a little bit. So you've got Cem with a bit of space ahead of him with Craig. And then behind him, equally, just about the same amount of space to Sam. Although, to say that, it looks like Cem is closing up on Craig. And now he'll slow down a little bit. But now we're going to go back on with Craig. We're going to ride on board with Craig, actually, as you go through the final corner onto the main straight. And he's going to start his Q2 lap. This is for the grid. There's only 2 qualifying sessions in this league. So this is for pole position, effectively, between Craig and the rest of the drivers. So we're on board with him right now as he goes up the hill. And you can see behind him, Cem, the man who was in second, the closest behind in Q1, following behind. So both these guys are going to be battling probably for pole position. So let's see their Sector 1 times as we come through. We're going to look back. That's Cem in the red car, Group 1. He's a super sub, so he doesn't technically have a racing team on the bottom left there. But that's basically his car. The one that basically looks like the 2016 Ferrari, as you can clearly see. But into Sector 1, it's a 28.259 for Craig. And it is a 28.3. So a tad slower there for Cem. Let's see. For Sector 2, it's a 50.2 for Cem. It's a 50.3 for Craig. So this is close. This is close. Through the final corner, Craig Baxter in Defiance Racing's purple car, crosses the line. What is it going to be? It's a 104.7. And behind it is... Can't quite tell. He's parked up. It's a 104.73. So, super close. Yeah, super close there.
Almost had a collision in the pit lane.
So at the moment, it's Craig Baxter on pole position, provisional pole with Chem in second place. You've got Scott Davidson in third place with a 104.9. So you can see the gap there. 104.7 to 104.9. So a bit of a gap between the front row and the rest of the grid. So it's kind of almost like the real-life 2017 season, actually. Surprisingly, funnily enough. So Scott goes out on his lap. We've got Sam Carpenter already out on his out lap. I think he's actually on a hot lap, perhaps, because the sector time is counting. Let's see. No, he looks like he's slowing down a little bit. So I think he's on his out lap as well. So taking you through the running order is Craig Baxter, provisional pole. Kem in second place. Scott Davidson third place, Sam Carpenter fourth. Lawrence is, as we actually talk about him, has a half spin there and decides to go back to the pit lane, but he's in fifth at the moment. Kieran White in sixth place, Evan Rice in seventh, and Kieran Chadwick, the last of the top 8 running in this Q2 session. So let's see who's running on track. Sam Carpenter, is he on a lap? I don't think he is. No, he's definitely not on a lap. He's definitely not on a lap because his best time is 105.2. I think he'll be going on to a flying lap now. So let's see what he can do. Obviously, we mentioned on just at the beginning of the stream that Sam on his day could be right up there, but it's just about if he has one of those days. He's one of those drivers where it's like a knife edge if he is going to get onto the one of those days. And at the moment, Kieran White has just toppled Sam down to 5th. So Sam has to make this a good one if he wants... Oh, no, he's stopped. He stopped. So he's bought to that lap. So Sam is going to have to go out there and do the business if he wants to get back 4th place. And Kieran White at the moment has done enough to get 4th place. Scott Davidson in 3rd, starting his lap, it looks like. So we'll see what his Sector 1 is like. And then out ahead, Chem still in the pits. Craig goes slower on his Sector 1 time at the moment. So I don't know if he'll opt to... Might probably just pull up if he knows he's slower in that first sector. Chem's still in the pit, so it looks like Chem... Will he go for a late one? Probably so. Yeah. Scott has gone faster by less than half a tenth, so he's going to have to pick up more time, really, if he wants to... Ooh, little bit of a lock up there. Bit of cloud of smoke coming off his car. Let's ride on board with him. Let's ride on board. Obviously, this is Craig's teammate. He's actually gained a 10th there in the second sector. Through that right-hander into the last corner now. Very, very close, but just about managed to not cut the corner there on the last corner. And it's not going to be faster. So he lost some time there. Through the final corner. And so it's going to be 3rd, it looks like. I think he's going to have to settle for 3rd because there won't be enough time, I don't think. Maybe it's going to be a squeeze. Sam is cutting it really late. Kieran White and Kieran Chadwick is out of the pit lane. So finally, I don't think Kieran set a lap time, has he yet? So he's come out real late.
No. Kieran, Evan and Lorenzo also yet to set a time.
So he's left it real late. Real late. Apparently we've got 215 viewers, so get in there. Welcome, everyone, to Nebula Racing. This is rFactor 2, if you don't know. At the moment, what you've missed is we've got a minute left just about in the session. At the moment, we've got Chem in second place that we're looking at right now. Ahead of him, on track and also in the standings, on provisional pole position at the moment, is Craig Baxter in Defiance Racing. His teammate Scott Davidson in 3rd place, Kieran White in 4th, Sam Carpenter 5th, Lawrence in 6th place, Evan Rice in 7th, and Kieran Chadwick in 8th place. It's only 8 running in Q2. The others that were knocked out already in Q1 were Max Shepard, Daniel Potter, Kevin Cox, Nick Brackey, Yuso, and Adam Crane. So we're looking at Craig right now, who's going to start his final flying lap. And right behind him, quite fittingly, is Chem on track. So this is going to be great. We can see sector by sector if these guys are pulling apart each other and if they're gaining time on one another. And then down the circuit is Scott Davidson as well. Kieran White, I think, starting his lap there from 4th place, trying to solidify 4th, maybe trying to get 3rd place. We'll have to see later on. And Sam Carpenter also started his lap. He was knocked down from 4th by Kieran, so he's going to have to try and improve to get back up into that 4th place if he wants to. And now let's look back on board with Chem and Craig. They're going up the hill, obviously, for their first sector split. And we'll see what's going to be the difference here.
A bit of an overcorrection there for Craig out of the exit of turn 2. He does have traffic ahead. I think might be Evan Rice ahead of Craig.
Can't quite tell from here. Let's go back just on board. Can't quite tell from this position. Looks like Craig has gone a little bit slower. Not too much, but Kem is probably improved. Probably about the same amount he's lost there, so that's interesting. Scott has improved by nearly 2/10 in the first sector.
Purple.
He's gone purple. He's on it. He's on it like a carp on it. Well, Scott Davidson caused an upset here. Kem's gone a little bit. Oh, Kem's gone faster by about 2.5 there. Where is Craig? Craig stopped, so he's not going to set a lap time.
Over.
Yeah, Craig's pulled over, so Chem, he's improved. Will he improve enough? I think this will be, as he goes across towards the end of the line. Is it going to be it? Is it going to be enough? Is he crosses the line with a 104.737? And it's going to be Craig Baxter, I think, on pole position with, I think Scott abandoned his lap, which is really unfortunate because he gained 2/10 there. So it looks like it's going to finish up with Craig Baxter on pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix. We're very far away from Australia. Yeah, Craig Baxter on pole position. Absolute madness. So that was a very, very tense, close qualifying session. But here's your full running order then. Craig Baxter, pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix. Chem in second place. Scott Davidson, Craig's teammate, in third place. Kian White in fourth. Evan Rice in fifth. Sam Carpenter in sixth. So Sam really went down the order. He was fourth, actually, at the very beginning of Q2. And then went down 2 positions. So 6th place for him. Kieran sets a lap time good enough for 7th place. And then Lawrence, the last guy running in that Q2, in 8th place. And then obviously the people who already got knocked out are already in their running order of Max Shepard, Daniel Potter, Kevin Cox, Nick Brackey, Yuso, Adam Crane. And then, well, it's us two, myself and Zach. If you're new around here, do click that follow button, by the way, to follow Nebula Racing Live. And if you're a bit confused at what's happening here, this is Nebula Racing. It's an rFactor League, or rFactor 2, I should be specific, for this season. They were on rFactor 1 last season for 2016. This 2017 season, they got 2017 generic spec cards. I've been told the slipstreams are quite realistic, actually, if not a little bit worse than real life. So actually, overtaking is you have to actually fight for it. You know, it's not just going to be a very easy pass, but it's definitely going to be a very close race, I think. Hopefully. Every time there's been a live stream of this league, it's been close, hasn't it?
Yeah. Last year they had the Australian race, which went down to the wire between Martinez and Baxter, with Tom unfortunately running out of fuel. But every race has been pretty close. But the real challenge, I guess, is if Jem can get ahead of Craig at the start. Yeah. And prevent Craig from running away.
Yeah, of course. That's you know, a big story of the season, pretty much. Craig Baxter running away with it in the race. If you don't know, you may be new around here, obviously. We've got plenty of new viewers here. The championship looks like this. Craig Baxter leading the championship with 168 points. The next gap is 77 to Sam Carpenter in second place, and Scott Davidson third on level points. So Sam and Scott level on points going to the championship. So Craig may be home and dry, really, but Sam and Scott Davidson, the people who have qualified third, that's Scott Davidson, and qualifying in 6th place, Sam Carpenter. They're level on points in the championship here. So that's going to be a tight fight. But Craig, yeah, as you mentioned, we've got the super sub, Chem, who's come in and is challenging Craig so far. Very competitive lap times in qualifying. So I think he's probably... I don't want to be harsh, but I think at this stage, probably the only man looking like he's going to challenge Craig. But you never know. Craig, I think, did recently go out in a race with an issue to his car, did he not? So there's always that possibility.
Yeah, well, the last race out in Canada saw Scott take his first win of the season after a bit of an incident between Kieran and Craig, after Kieran spun and Craig simply collected him. So, which put Craig back down into, I think, second in the end, with Jem coming in third.
All right, so plenty of Austria. You never know. We've seen some. I remember last year's Austrian Grand Prix because I was a part of it. It was It was an interesting race with a lot of rain. So at the moment, I don't think there's going to be any rain forecast. I don't think, but it still should be hopefully a cracking one. I can see plenty of people saying hi in chat. Hello and welcome. If you are familiar with me, then hello, welcome. I know this is a very different scenario to be in, isn't it? I don't believe it either. I don't know how they've given me this gig, especially since I sponsor one of the teams racing in this league.
And I own one.
Yeah, and Zach owns one. You're joining the commentary box with myself and Zach Jones. Zach Jones actually owns Zesty Racing, one of the teams racing here today. And I actually sponsor the Korean racing team here, Kieran Chadwick, repping in 7th place. So, yeah, it's a bit confusing. I honestly don't know how we got the gig, but there we go. Welcome, and I hope you're going to enjoy this one. Commentator's bias, shaking my head from Nino in chat. Don't think so. Don't think so, Nino. Don't think so. But it looks like the drivers have been told they can go out on track here. So let's take a look. We've got a few cars going out track, so let's cut to the live feed here. So we've got a load of cars going out, as you can clearly see. We've got, let's move up the order. Kian White going out there, just behind. Scott Davidson still coming out. Chem still parked up. Craig, the pole sitter, is out. So this is the formation lap, obviously, to the grid.
Yeah, so this will be the 8-minute warm-up that they'll have, and then we'll be going to the race.
8-minute warm-up then. 8-win warm-up.
Yeah, so that was the 6th pole position of the season for Craig, which now puts him alongside his 6 wins that he's had this season as well. So the definition of dominance.
Yeah, clearly. Well, I mean, I'm going to keep coming back to it because it is just absolutely insane. 77 gap in the championship. You know, that's a lot. That's a lot. But you know what? Let's go. We've got a bit of time here with the warm-up. They're just doing basically on this warm-up, they're going to be... It's something that you don't really see in F1 in real life. Basically, they get a little bit of warm-up, check their setups, check how the track's feeling, basically. So while we do that, and whilst you just watch that track action, we're going to I'm just going to go through the standings, just so you can get some context, really, of this race. So at the moment in the championship, how many rounds have gone, Zach? Remind me.
8. This is round 9.
8, right. 8 rounds have gone. So Craig Baxter leads the championship for Defiance Racing, 168 points. Second place is Sam Carpenter, 91. Fair big of gap. Level on points with Sam Carpenter is Scott Davidson in 3rd place. So they're level on points. Team Sabre Racing for Sam and Craig's teammate Scott Davidson for Defiance Racing in 3rd place. Then you got Johan, who I don't believe is actually in this race. He's not turned up for this one. Drillers Motorsport, he's in 4th place. Kieran Chadwick in the absolutely fabulous Korean racing team in 5th place with 60 points. So if he has a good enough race, he can jump Johan with 6 points there if he gets it. We've then got Robin in the other Drillers, who's also another one who's not racing today. So both Drillers missing from this race. He's in 6th place with 48 points. Then you got Kevin Cox, who is in this race. He's in 7th place in the championship with 47 points. So 1 point behind Robin in the championship. Then you got Aiden in Phoenix Sim Racing in 8th place. Max Shepard in 9th. All rather close, 45 to 40 points there. So Mac will be looking to maybe get one over on Aiden if he can. I don't think, looking down the order, I don't think Aiden's even turned up to this one. So Mac can definitely maybe, if Mac can have a good showing, he can get up there and get some good points to maybe overhaul for 8th place in the championship. And then we got Philip, who is another non-starter here today in 10th place. There's a few non-starters. There's a few dropouts, unfortunately, from this league. We've got Evan Rice, though, who is racing today in 13th place with only 23 points. Right behind him with 20 points is Adam Crane. So both those drivers are racing today. So Adam Crane, who's qualified in 14th place, and Evan Rice, who's in a lofty 5th place compared to him. So that's going to be a tough task for Adam to maybe, you know, battle Evan in the race. But you never know. Anything could happen at the start of the race. You could drop down the order. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. And then Chem, who's a super sub. He's an independent team, effectively. He's got 15 points to his name so far. He's come in before as a super sub. And today he's a super sub in 2nd place on the grid. So...
Yeah, so he only raced in Canada at the last race. And so he's sort of the odd one out, I guess, in the championship standings. So if he can get a good bag of points here, he can move himself well into the top 10, I would assume.
Well into the top 10, yeah, that'll be very, very good for him. So, right now we've got about 4.5 minutes left of the warm-up, so let's just read the chat and let's look at what all you guys are saying. I'm pretty sure you're meant to join this league. I don't know what on earth you're on about. No, I was in this league for a brief, like 3 races, I think, last season, and I just had too much university work to kind of deal with. The logic behind me was I was in my last year of university and decided to join the league on top of everything I was doing, so... Yeah, it didn't make sense. But yes, I was in this league. I can confirm that. Crashed in the formation lap. That's fine. It's the warm-up. It doesn't matter too much if you crash in the warm-up. I do believe it doesn't really matter too much, does it, Zach?
No.
It's all fine.
It's all good.
It's all fine.
Yes.
How do you enter a team? Well, if you go over to the Nebula Twitter, which I believe hopefully is linked below the stream. If not... I believe it's Nebula Racing League. I think that's the Twitter handle.
If you look around the track, the website link is on some of the advertising boards. I think it's rfactor.nebularacing.com.
Yeah, you can go to that website and you can sign up if you really do want to try and enter a team, maybe. How are you two? I'm fine. Zach, are you fine?
Yes, it's good. Here at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, Zach's committed. Nino and Arav, master team for next season. Yeah, potentially. Arav, are you going to replace Crofty? I don't know. I'm certainly the Crofty of this league. And Callum HD is joined, LOLO. And Nino has got the link in chat, so you can go to their Twitter and you can switch down their timeline, and I'm sure there'll be some information. Also, their website will be linked in their Twitter bio, so you can go to the website and you can get signed up as either a driver entering a team, or you can enter as a driver and maybe get signed to a team. There are some existing teams potentially looking for drivers, and I believe as of now, aren't sign-ups free, Zach, I think as of now?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. They removed the license fee.
Yeah, so there was a license fee. It's now free. So now is the best time to join this if you do want to do some rFactor 2 league racing. And you could be one of these fabulous people being commentated by me. I mean, I don't know, some people... a bit of a weird lag there between Key and... you know, for some reason, people think that is, you know, a reward to be racing and commentated by me. I don't know why, but there you go. I appreciate it nonetheless. So we've only got 2 minutes left, pretty much, of warm-up, and then we will go to the grid. Or the formation lap, really, then the grid.
We'll be looking to practice the pit lane, especially in warm-up. That's one of the main things, because it's going to be about a 3-stop, I think, this race, looking at, or hearing, especially from the drivers, what they were saying. The tyre wear isn't that great around this track.
So it's definitely, would you say it's probably going to be definitely worse than real life, the tyre wear 2017?
Oh, yeah.
For sure,
Yep.
Right. So thankfully, it's probably going to be, just that alone, I think I can comfortably say, will probably make it much more interesting, actually, just because the tyre wear's there. And we got a little bit of freezing there. Apologies for that, as we've got a little bit of server management going on.
Yes.
So who's the Palmer of the rFactor League? I don't know. Well, I personally won't know. Zach, can you maybe tell the chat?
I don't want to go.
Is there? He doesn't want to insult anyone.
To someone.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
We're not here to label people. Okay, we're not here to label people. We're just here to watch the racing. All right. We'll judge after this race maybe. But yeah, the less said about that, the better, I think. Well,
Yep.
Taylor in chat saying me, apparently. So we've got a minute left of warm-up. So as Zach mentioned, this will perhaps be a part where they practice their startups. Let's just look through. Is anyone... I'm going to look on board now with Yuso warming up still. 50 seconds left, so not long to go. Daniel Potter, 11th place here in a grey-looking McLaren sort of S sort of livery.
The drillers won. Looking at the constructors as well, which is very, very close. Defiance, though, are leading by 145 points over Sabre Racing, who are on the exact same amount of points as Drillers Motorsport 2. Ooh. And then there's a fair old gap, another 50 points. And then it's Grus, Simsport, Adam Crane and Kevin Cox, who are only 5 points ahead of your team, the Korean racing team.
Yes.
And who are fractionally ahead of Phoenix, who are also ahead of Vulcan, VD Sport, Drillers Motorsport number 1, and Nomex Racing, who Yuso is racing for.
So definitely some people looking to gain, teams looking to gain. As we mentioned already, if you did miss it, we did talk through some of the drivers looking to gain. But now the session has finished, and we're going to advance through to the formation lap and the starting grid. So, this is going to be very, very interesting. I literally have no idea what's going to happen here. The start can be known to be very chaotic. I've seen a few Nebula races in the past, and, you know, it can either be very clean and pretty damn respectful, or there could be a monumental impact. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But hopefully these guys can keep it clean for the sake of this race in the stream. And hopefully you guys can enjoy some racing this afternoon. And hopefully, as we mentioned, it's Craig Baxter on pole position, with Chem in second place as super sub. And it looks to be a fight between them, really, for the top two. But we'll see. Scott Davidson was looking pretty damn good until he had to stop his lap. So let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope he can get up there. That'll be great.
Yeah, it's sort of a different kettle of fish, really, with it when it comes to the long run pace. But you can't really go putting your money anywhere but Craig Baxter, I don't think. I think if he can get through the first corner cleanly, I think it'll be a...
Yeah, I don't know if there's a betting, any sort of underground betting system for Nebula, but if you were to put your money...
Yeah, Nino will probably be
AF Nino TV may be your man to go to, ladies and gents, for your underground betting for Nebula Racing. He can maybe give you the best odds. I would probably strongly advise to vote for Craig Baxter, but we shall see. We shall see. Being a bit unbiased, you know, there's plenty of other people that could mix it up. Sam on his day, we know he could be good. Sam Carpenter, look out for him in the yellow Sabre racing car. I'm not biased, but Kieran Chadwick in the beautiful red Korean racing team could get up there. You never know. He's got a fabulous sponsor on the side of his car that could power him to victory. We'll see. And for Zach, for you, the man who owns a team here in Nebula Racing, your man, was it Lawrence?
Lorenz.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lawrence. Doing a good job, doing a decent enough job. And let's see if we can get up there. But right now we're just waiting for the server and the entire league, obviously, to advance to the formation lap sequence, basically, where they'll line up then for the grid, and we can get underway. But I can see plenty of activity in the chat, and I believe there's at least roughly, I can't quite measure it, but I think at least over 200, maybe nearly 300 of you watching at the moment, which is pretty crazy for Nebula Racing. I think Nebula Racing is going to really love this outcome right now, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm sure this is a very different experience for a lot of you to listen to me try and act professional and commentate a league race, but you know, as you've already seen, there are going to be some breaks in character. You know, go on Korean racing team with may or may not have my logo on the side, but you know, that's just that's up to speculation. So there we go. As you maybe heard, we've been given the get-go to go towards the formation lap. So they're going to get going. We're going to remove this loading screen, and we are into the session. And they're going to start pretty soon to line up for the grid. As we go through up the order here, let's take a look at the pole man, Craig Baxter, right now sitting in his garage, psyching himself up at this stage, I reckon.
Yep. Yeah, the 44 laps of this circuit, a blessed amount of laps.
Right, so right now they've loaded on, and basically they're going on their formation lap now. So they've all loaded in, as you can clearly see. So the running order then for the starting grid is Craig Baxter, Chem, super sub in second place. Craig Baxter racing for Defiance Racing. His teammate Scott Davidson in third place. Kean White in fourth. Evan Rice fifth. Sam Carpenter in sixth place there, who we think may be able to get up there, hopefully. And also Scott Davidson may be able to challenge his teammate. Who knows? We'll see. Lawrence in seventh place, who Zach owns the team off. Wink, wink. Max Shepard in eighth place. Kevin Cox in ninth. Nick Brackey in 10th place. Yuso in 11th. Kieran Chadwick is in 12th place. So there's been something that's gone on there, because Kieran was in 8th, I believe, wasn't it? So
5-place grid penalty, I believe, for
5 place.
Yep.
5-place grid penalty for Kieran Chadwick.
It's a bit more difficult for him, but
Yeah, definitely a little bit more difficult for the Korean nation to cheer on their man in 12th place. But he is there in 12th place. Adam Crane in 13th and Daniel Potor in 14th. And then you can see man like Arava in 15th. Don't be fooled. That's just me in the session to commentate, everyone. I'm going to remain. Man like is going to remain in 15th place. So, you know. But let's go. Vamos Korea, apparently. Yep. It is Kieran Chadwick in 12th place for a Korean racing team. It's the team I sponsor, so if you want to root for anyone, I suggest them. Not biased at all. But Craig Baxter is the man leading the championship by 77 points, and he's on pole position. So, basically, what we're looking for today is hopefully Chem, off second place, can maybe get a jump on Craig. That would be fantastic this afternoon. And Scott Davidson, Craig's teammate, to also maybe be in the mix there. But they're going to line up for the starting grid. And it's going to be 44 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. This is going to be oh so exciting.
It must be very impressive to get fourth place on the grid. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do from there.
For sure, for sure. So as the last few line up, we're going to get ready to go to those 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix. Here we go. The lights are going to go out. We're going to get underway for the Austrian Grand Prix. The lights go out and we're underway, and it looks like it's a good start for both of the Defiance Racing cars in purple, as Scott Davidson is up into second place, going to turn 1. Chem defending off the cars behind him. As we look behind, you can see, though, Scott Davidson got a poor exit off turn 1. They go side by side. Chem is going to try and make a move for second place to get back. He's bottled it off the front row. Can he make a move down the inside? Yes, he can. It looks like. Will Scott try and go around the outside? Oh, it's very close between Key and Beer, but contact there. Kean White in the red Vulcan car trying to make a move there, and then we've got Sam Carpenter. Brilliant start there. Maybe going around the outside of Scott Davidson for third place. That'll be a fantastic start there for Sam Carpenter, who didn't do quite well in qualifying as he wanted. Tries to go around the outside. Scott defends successfully behind them. Very, very close stuff between Lawrence in the Zesty Racing car in orange. all nose to tail at the moment between that midfield. We've got side-by-side action between Max Shepard going round the outside. A little bit off circuit, though. He tried to go around the outside of Evan Rice in the yellow Sabre car. And he's still trying to go around the outside. Not quite making it. Let's look on board with this is Max Shepard right up the chuff of Evan Rice. Will he make a move down the inside? Oh no, a half spin. Very, very close stuff. And behind them, evasive actions had to be taken between Cox and then also Yuso in 10th place. So Max Shepard, commend his, the effort. But not quite. So, your running order, we're on board with Craig Baxter in first place, followed by Chem, closely following behind, trying to chase him down. He's on the Ultrasoft tyres. Craig as well, obviously the top 8 will be in the Ultrasoft. Scott Davidson in third place. Close behind, down the inside actually, is Sam Carpenter down the inside, and he's got it. Scott has not really had the best turn 2 there. And so Sam Carpenter in the yellow Sabre Racing team up into third place there. So, fantastic stuff for Sam.
That's a very good start there for Sam from 6th up to 3rd, and that's exactly what he needs in terms of the championship.
Exactly, because he is in a chance to kind of jump. He's on level points, isn't it? Not with Scott Davidson, I believe, isn't it? I think.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's what he needs, because at the moment, that will put Sam ahead of Scott Davidson, who's just overtaken in the championship. That will put him ahead. So, he's in 3rd now. And we'll see how he goes on. Let's move up to the top 5. Let's see if there's been any closing of the gaps. It looks like it's a little bit closer. Let's ride on board for a sec.
It looks like he's close, yeah.
It looks like he has closed up somewhat. I think the gaps probably stay the same just about overall. Behind them, Sam, then Scott Davidson in the second purple Defiance car. And then there's a move there, perhaps, for Evan Rice. Not quite on Lawrence in the orange Zesty racing car. Evan's going to get the slipstream as they go up the hill. Will he be able to make a move into that turn 2? Let's see as the camera wobbles around. We're going to go on board with Lawrence here. Is he going to defend? He's going to pinch the apex in. Oh, it looks like there's been some contact there. There definitely was some contact there as we weren't on board with Evan, but it looked like there was perhaps some contact. Because Lorenz had to go a bit wayward and sideways, so I think there may have been some contact. But so far, don't think Evan's going to give that the place. Yeah, definitely a squabble there and a half. Let's look down the order. So at the moment,
Nick Bracke and Yuso are going at it.
Nick Bracke, let's try and find him. We've got Yuso here in 14th place. There is the man Nick Bracke you just mentioned, Zach, in 13th place. And then Adam Crane in 13th up ahead of him. Will Nick be able to close up? Looks like he is. Adam Crane's got it a little bit wrong there. So running on board, will Nick Bracke be able to make a move? They get very, very close through the final 2 corners there. Through the final corner. Very, very close stuff. Going off a little bit wide, both Nick Bracke and Yuso in 13th and 14th. As they try and catch Adam Crane to maybe unsettle him for 12th place. Let's go up the order. It's Kieran Chadwick in the Korean Racing team.
All over the back.
And he's on the back of what will be Daniel. Let's see if he can make the move down the inside of the Driller's car. No, not quite. Kieran thinks better of it and doesn't make the move on the Driller's car. So the Driller's car of Daniel stays ahead of Kieran for now. But will he get a better run on the side of him? Let's look on board. He's got DRS. Here he goes in the Korean Racing team. Down the inside in blue and reds. Oh, a little bit wayward, but just about managed to hang on there. He's on the super soft tyres, obviously, after having a 5-place grid penalty. But no, Daniel's brilliantly done the switchback move on him. And he's got him back there. But now Kieran will send it down the inside. Nearly side by side there. It's great action between what will be only 10th 11th. So fighting over the wooden spoon for the last points paying position. Will Kieran be able to make a move down the inside? Daniel will have to go a little bit defensive there through the last 2 corners. They're nose to tail through the final corner. Daniel going a little bit wide, actually, on the curbing. So will Kieran be able to get him? Let's see. Down the main straight. He's going to have enough speed. Let's see. He's closing. Here he goes. Popping it down the inside. This will be for 10th place. Remember, Kieran just about squeezes through. Daniel gets a little bit wayward. A little bit of sideways action there for his front end of the car. And he's down to 10th. He's down to 11th now. So Kieran's made that move. But will Daniel come back at him? Will he come back at him? Will he try the dart? Oh my God! He's gone for it! He's round! Kieran is round! He's been spun round by Daniel. That was a bold move, and it's not worked out there. And he'll be furious in that Korean Racing team. Probably on the phone to Korea immediately to maybe bomb where Daniel's from, because that was very, very, very aggressive, and that just hasn't worked for him. That hasn't worked for him. And Daniel.
And now he's going to be eaten by Adam Crane. He's going to go for the move.
He's going to obviously have to let him through. You would hope so. Adam Crane's going to come through. And then you've got Yuso, who has actually overtaken. Yuso's overtaken Nick Bracke there for what will be 12th place at the moment. Will soon go up into 11th. because obviously Daniel's going to be respectful, we hope, and let Kieran back through. So let's see. Here he goes a little bit wide. He may be doing it here. Kieran's fighting Nick Brackett. Kieran's all over it. He's very flustered indeed. Let's ride on board with him. Is he going to make a move down the inside? Obviously, it's on Nick, it's for position. For Daniel, maybe not. But Kieran has to fight for position to come back, because obviously he's not been, you know, unduly done wrong by Nick Brackett up ahead. So he's going to have to fight back here. But at the moment, he's in stone dead last. So no one tell Kim Jong. Or King, I can't remember the. Please don't bomb my house. I've forgotten the race, the special leader's name. But at the moment, he's not going to be happy there in Korea. Anyway, moving forward, Nick Brackett. Then you've got Yuso trying to overtake Daniel. So Daniel's not giving the place back. So interesting. Yeah. So there may be a penalty, perhaps. I don't know. I felt like it was quite a brash move. We'll have to see. But at the moment, Daniel locking up, though. He's on the super soft tyre, so that's actually not what he needs. He's on the, you know, more durable tyre, and he's looking like he's having more issues than Yuso at the moment on ultra soft. Nick Brackett on super soft tyres. So Yuso on ultras kind of getting eaten up actually by super soft tyre runners. We know there's a lot of tyre wear in this league, and round the outside, I think that is. Is that Kieran trying round the outside? Yes, it is. Kieran's gone round the outside. Oh my word! Kieran Chadwick's gone round the outside of Nick Brackett in the second last corner. What a move!
But looks like Sam has gone to 9th place. There was a yellow flag in sector 3, I believe.
Oh, no. Sam Carpenter, the man who was in 3rd place, ahead of Scott Davidson. If you don't know, Scott Davidson and Sam Carpenter are level on points in the championship for 2nd place on 91 apiece. Sam was ahead. He made a move on Scott Davidson early on in the race for 3rd place. But now, there's been an incident that we've unfortunately missed because there was a lot of action down below. Unlike Formula 1, there's a lot of action all the way down the field. And we've missed that spot. But Sam, down to 9th place. Let's take a look through. Let's go right to the front then. We've got Craig Baxter and Shem still in this 1-2 fight. This gap... yeah, well, it's a regular occurrence to see Craig up ahead. He has a 77-point lead in the championship, but this gap between him and Chem, I think you'll agree, Zach, has pretty much been the same the entire time.
Yeah, it looks like it's incredibly close between all of them. I think Sam has pit. Yes, he has.
Yep, so Sam Carpenter in the pits. We saw a move there between Lawrence.
Oh,
no! There's been a crash behind! It's Kevin Cox into the wall! He's spun around, he's got no rear wing, he's got no front wing, and it's not looking like a Formula 2017 car, I'll tell you that much. And yellow flags in Sector 1. That is unfortunate for him. That is unfortunate. Looks like he made the move on Lawrence, actually. But
yeah, and he got a bit excited on throttle, I think, and then just speared off into the wall.
And then behind him is Sam, who's pit now. He's on the ultra soft tyres. So, Zach, what do you think the strategy is going to be? Talk us through the strategy for this race. What do you think it may be?
Probably a 3-stop for people who do it right, I guess, in terms of the tyres. So Sam has been put in a very interesting position, I guess, because he's had to pit so early, because I think when he spun there, he would have got a heap of flap spots on his tyres. So he would have had to pit because the vibrations would have been so bad.
So we've got Mac in the pits. We've got a lot of people in the pits. We've got Evan Rice in the pits. Kian White also in the pit lane there. So you can see them going to the pit box. So let's see if anyone's going to probably overtake them coming down the pit straight now. But they're going to come into their pit box. Very, very close stuff. But down the pit lane comes. It's going to be Adam Crane.
What's happened in the pit lane for Evan Rice?
Oh, Evan Rice with a slow stop.
Very interesting position.
And Shepard, who was behind Evan, I believe, is now ahead of him. And Sam comes right round the outside through turn 1, finds himself just ahead of Max Shepard there. So calamities for the second Sabre Racing Team car in yellow, Evan Rice. So it's not been a great afternoon for the yellow team. They've bottled it. They've bottled it for now.
Looking at what happened with Keane, I think he was in the working lane through the entire pit lane, and Evan couldn't pull in, I guess, into the box because Keane was there. So I would assume there probably might be a penalty on the way for Keane White.
Right, so that's going to be very unfortunate for him. So at the moment, let's talk you through the running order then. Hang on, not talk you through the running order, because at the moment, Craig Baxter in the pit lane, and behind him as well, Chem follows him through. So these two basically just nose to tail, even on the same lap, pitting on the same lap there. So Craig gets away, no issues for Chem either, so they exit the pit lane now. And it's going to be Scott Davidson, Craig's teammate at the moment, leading the way on ultra soft tyres, yet to pit in this race. probably may pit on the next lap, I would maybe guess. Just a guess. But Craig comes out, nose to tail with Chem. And will Chem go for a move around the outside? Oh, very, very close. Lock off from Craig a little bit. And
under pressure.
At the moment, yeah, under pressure for sure. At the moment, Craig is on the super soft tyres and the same for Chem. So they're equal on strategy. So this is very, very close. Definitely a lot closer than what it was just before they entered the pit lane. So you can see a nice little shot here as we look back behind from Craig's rear end to Chem. You can see Chem chasing after as hard as he can. And then up ahead is his teammate Scott Davidson, who is now, as I mentioned, pitting for his first pit stop of the afternoon off from the ultra soft tyres. So let's see. It's hopefully going to be a pretty nice, easy stop for him as Craig goes through the final corner, followed by Chem. And then behind them is Adam Crane on the soft tyres, yet to pit in this race. Going long.
Running very long on the soft tyres.
Running very long, yeah. So it's going to be a bit of a long first stint. Bit of a, I don't know, I would say lowly stint, but he's got cars chasing him because Scott Davidson, oh, gets a bit of snap on the exit. Scott Davidson comes out and he can see Adam Crane up the road. So there's a 1 tyre compound difference, but Adam Crane has been on those soft tyres for the entire race. And actually, side by side, actually, we did not see that on board. We've got side by side action with Daniel Potter in the Drillers Motorsport team car. They're going side by side, so Scott Davidson under pressure as he comes out the pit lane. So actually, they've really timed that horribly, Defiance Racing. And he's had to make some overtake moves as we also got Kean there. I think that is making the move on Daniel down the inside into Sector 2. There you go. So it's Kean trying to keep what will be 5th place here ahead of Daniel. And I think he's done it. And Scott narrowly just gets ahead in 4th now. And now can chase after Adam Crane, who is going along, as we mentioned, on the soft tyres. Meanwhile, up ahead, all order has been resumed, I guess you could say. And he's in 2nd place, Chem, chasing off to Craig, who, as ever, is leading the way. So, looking down the order, there's Adam Crane, and you got that fight we were just talking about. Scott down the pit lane. Evan, Kean White, I should say, chasing close with the yellow car of Sam Carpenter. Close behind. If you did miss it, Sam Carpenter did actually have a spin earlier on this race. He was leading in 3rd. He was
there's
leading.
a spin at the back.
Oh, there was a spin at the back, but there's some action here. Zach is Scott's having to trying to go down the inside of Adam, and also Sam has gone down the inside of 2 cars. Sam's made a double overtake there. Brilliant move there for Sam Carpenter, who did spin earlier on in the race and went back below Scott Davidson. These 2 title rivals. Well, not title rivals, championship rivals. They're level on points, and Sam's got the bit between his teeth to try and catch back up after that spin, and now he finds himself right back behind Scott Davidson. But now let's have a look, Zach, at that spin. Who was it? Who was it?
Evan Rice, I think. He spun on the exit of turn 1.
More bad luck. So Evan Rice had a problem in the pit lane, and now he's spun. More bad luck.
That puts him under pressure now from Kieran.
Definitely, definitely. Where Kieran is, yeah, not too far behind there in the Korean racing team, in the red and blue stars and stripes of the glorious Republic. So we can now see Sam Carpenter closing up on Scott Davidson. This is the fight actually that I'm probably most interested in, because at the top, yeah, it's close at the top. He'll give you that. Jem and Craig are very equally matched up top, but this fight is looking like it's actually gonna, something's gonna happen here, because Scott is feeling the pressure maybe from Sam. Sam's gonna make the dive bomb of the century down the inside, and Scott does this switchback move. It's a great little battle here. They'll go side by side. Let's ride on board with Scott Davidson in the Defiance Racing team. Sam's got DRS open, closes that flap, and he is up into 3rd place. So order has been resumed. Sam back up into that 3rd place that he lost previously after a spin, and now Scott has to look at the back end of that yellow car and has to try and suss out how he's going to re-overtake Sam this afternoon. But if you don't know, these 2 level on points in the championship, 91 points apiece. So whoever comes ahead of the other one in this race will get ahead in the championship for 2nd place in the championship. Out in the lead of the championship is this man, Craig Baxter, that we're on board with right now, by a whopping 77 points. The super sub behind him in 2nd place, Chem, is only a super sub. He's nothing more than that. So he's got 15 points to his name. He's merely here just to get in the action, have some fun racing. And we can see as we look back behind Craig, he is trying his best to chase down Craig. But Craig, it's an all too familiar sight really in Nebula Racing, him leading the way at the moment. So behind them, Sam 3rd, Scott 4th place, Kean's actually now closing up on Scott.
Yeah, he's quite close to Scott. Scott will be looking towards Sam to try and get back, but he's also got to look at his mirrors because Keane will be looking to close up and pass him and get up into 4th place.
Exactly. He's going to be... He may be able to catch him napping. That may be a thing. Adam Crane in 6th place, going long on the soft tyres. So he's really out of sync of this Grand Prix at the moment. I think that's not even exaggeration. Max Shepard in 7th place for Vulcan Racing, doing a pretty decent job. He's on the super soft tyres, you can see there. And he's a bit of no man's land at the moment, but he's trying to catch Adam Crane. And he should be able to, because he's on super softs, as we mentioned, with Adam Crane on the softs.
Sam has just come into the pits.
Sam in the pits, so as we're looking at Evan there, his teammate. We've got Sam in the pit lane. There he is, Sam in the pit lane, so he pits from 3rd. And so let's see what tyres he's going to strap on. So he's on a set of Ultras. He did spin earlier, so that may affect his strategy. He's going to put on a set of soft tyres. So Sam is going long in this Grand Prix. And let's see, Evan, his teammate, just about is going to get ahead of him, with also Kieran ahead of him that afternoon as well. So Sam is going to have to do some overtaking now. I don't know how easy that's going to be really on the soft tyres, but we'll see. But he comes out just ahead of Nomex Racing, Yuso in 11th, Nick Brackey in 12th place in Phoenix Sim Racing, and Daniel Potter in the Drillers team for 13th place, and Kevin Cox in 14th there for Gruss
Long way
Sim
behind.
Sport. Yeah, long way behind there. So that bottom pack. That bottom pack there, that's the bottom pack. As we move further ahead, we've got Lawrence in the Zesty Racing team car. Kind of in his own world, really. In his own world. He's a bit lonely. He needs a friend. Ahead of him, though, we've got Adam Crane, who's been overtaken by Max Shepard. Max Shepard has actually got ahead of Adam Crane. Adam Crane has lost the back end there. And I think he's really struggling now, Zach, with his soft tyres. It's been 15 laps. You reckon he has to pit soon?
Yeah, I think 15 is probably on the bubble of being too long on those soft tyres. But if we look ahead, Ian and Scott are going at it into turn 2.
Oh, yeah, they go side by side. Kian trying to make the move. It's not worked out there. So initially, it was Scott and then Kian. So no order has changed. So we haven't missed much there. But thanks, Zach. We have now cut onto that action. And let's see what goes on here. So Kian chasing down Scott. And they're both on the same tyres, I believe. Super soft tyres? The super soft tyres, yes. Same tyres. So let's see this action. Meanwhile, up ahead, it's still all the same for Craig and Chem, I can confirm. So let's look back to this 3rd place fight between Scott Davidson, Defiance Racing, and Kian White in Vulcan Racing. Let's see if we can get some action, boys. Let's see. As we go on towards lap 17, we've got a whole 44 laps this afternoon, so we're coming up just about to about halfway nearly. We'll be there in a few laps' time. But the main battle at the moment is between Kian White and Scott Davidson here. Sam Carpenter was in this fight in the Yellow Sabre Racing team, but he spun, and so he's very out of sync in this Grand Prix. At the moment, he finds himself in 10th, trying to chase down Adam Crane, who has pit now, I think. Adam Crane has pit from those soft tyres. He's down to 9th now, so Adam Crane was on the soft tyres from the start of this Grand Prix. He's now finally pit, and he's down in 12th now. So Sam elevates to 9th place. So he's going to have to do some work here this afternoon to catch back up, because he was fighting Scott on track, but he was still technically out of sync with those guys, because he opted for another set of Ultras, I believe it was, for the second stint. So out of sync there, which is unfortunate, because he wanted to try and jump Scott Davidson this afternoon. He was on level points with Scott in the championship, so it would mean quite a lot for him. But Kian White in 4th, chasing down Scott. That's how it looks for P2, for P3 and P4. P2 is Chem in Group 1, a super sub in the Ferrari-looking 2017 car here this afternoon. The gap pretty much the same as it always has been for this entire race. These guys, there's nothing between them. You can't separate them. You can't separate them. Craig, at the moment, leading the way, and it's an all too familiar sight from Nebula Racing here.
Got Evan coming into the pits now. He was getting hunted by Kieran Chadwick, but now Kieran's got some clean air now that Evan is pit.
Yep, Evan's pit, and there goes Sam up into 8th place then. So Evan pitting. There goes Yuso in 11th place, also in the pit lane, as well as Nick Brackey in the pit lane for the Phoenix Racing team. So those guys go on. Let's see what tyres they put on. It's Evan with the super soft tyres, Yuso with the super soft tyres, and Nick with the soft tyres. Nick was on the super soft previously, so that may be just a difference there for him today, right now in this stint. So Adam Crane comes out super soft, Daniel Potter, super soft tyres. Sam Carpenter trying to make up and recover from the bottle, I think you can describe it as, in 8th place on soft tyres, going long in this afternoon. Kieran Chadwick in the Korean racing team just up the road from Sam. So Sam will have his eyes set on this man with a familiar logo on the side of his car. I can't imagine what logo it is. I've not got the memory for it. Max Shepard into the pits though. So Lorenz is going to go up into 5th place, this will be, for Zesty Racing, as Max Shepard in the second Vulcan racing car into the pits. And it's going to be... No, is that Kian White? That's Kian White. It's Kian White. My apologies. It's Kian White who's pitting. So Kian opting for an earlier pit stop than Scott Davidson. He's on the soft tyres now. So
both Vulcans are pit.
Both Vulcans pit. Okay, both Vulcans. That's why there's a bit of confusion there. Kian White onto soft tyres. So I imagine Scott will probably also go onto softs, I would imagine. On his pit stop.
Lorenz has been on these ultra softs for quite some time.
He has. A long way. What's the pace like? Let me look here. We can actually bring up the gaps there. There we go. That may be a bit useful to us now. We're 18 laps in and we found the button for that. My apologies, but we found the button for the gap splits. So now you can look at the gap splits yourself and you can see what's going on. But yeah, he's not. Is he going to pit now? No. How many laps has he been on, Zach? He's been on, as you said, a fair few. Fair few.
I'm going to say, I don't think he started the race on the ultra softs. Maybe, I think he started on the super softs, so maybe about 10 laps on those ultra softs.
10 laps, right.
Which is very long for
ultra softs, yes. Very long. Right, Trey Baxter at the moment though. Let's take you through, as we can see the split times now. Trey Baxter leading. You can see that gap of 8 tenths pretty much being the same the entire way between these two in second and first. Then you got Scott Davidson yet to pit from his set of super soft tyres. The man who was behind him, Kian White, is in 7th at the moment. He's pit for soft, so I would imagine Scott would be pitting anytime soon, although he has gone a little bit faster in Sector 1, so he's matched his Sector 1. Oh! He's got a failure! I think he's slowing down. There's smoke coming out of the Defiance Racing car, and I believe he's got an engine failure. It's calamities there for the purple Defiance Racing man, and he parks up, and it's an all too familiar sight for any McLaren Honda fans out there. It's a GP2 engine situation. His engine's blown up in smokes, and Kieran Chadwick for the Korean racing team goes up through into 4th place there, and will come into the pits immediately. Maybe also second guessing, maybe, I don't know, if he's parked up in a dangerous place there, maybe, I don't know, a safety car, but a lot of people come into the pits. Lawrence finally comes in the pits, Kieran to the pits. Sam Carpenter on the soft tyres is going to use this advantage now, comes out, and he's going to be up in now what will be 3rd place. So, he's gone wide though. He's gone wide. Sam, what are you doing, mate? You bottled it again. He's gone wide. So at the moment, it's all kicking off now. Kian White.
Thank you for kicking off.
Oh, behind them.
Spun at the first corner.
Behind them, there's been a spin. Oh my God, it's all gone off. Evan spun. There's a front wing off for Daniel Potter. We missed the action there. I think Daniel has crashed with Evan Rice maybe into the first corner, and it's all kicked off there. And it's not a great day for this yellow car, Evan Rice. It's not a great day for this American man. It's all gone wrong for him this afternoon. Really has.
Looking at the replay then, and it turned out Scott Davidson had a double downshift, which popped his engine.
Ooh, unlucky. And Max Shepard making a move now on Lorenz in the Vulcan Racing team. And he's up into 5th place. So unfortunately for you, Zesty, your man in your Zesty Racing team is down to 6th at the moment. But they're chasing hard now. And up ahead, Kian is chasing Sam hard equally. But it's all changed now. It was Kian v Scott. Now it's Kian v Sam, and it's a question if Sam can actually make up that time he lost with the spin earlier to actually legitimately battle Kian. And now, into turn 1, will Lawrence make a move? No, he won't. Mac defends quite well into turn 1, places his car correctly there. But now let's ride on board with the man in the Zesty Orange team. He moves to the left-hand side of the circuit. Mac's going to have to defend. He's still just ahead by a nose, but Mac down the inside. They're going to go side by side. And on the exit, I think they're still side by side. It's still there, and I think he's got it. Yes, he has. He'll have DRS, and I think he's got Mac for now. Oh no! He's gone sideways. I bet Jim Carter and Mac's hit the back of him, and Adam Crane's through for a double overtake. It's all kicked off there into Sector 2, and Adam Crane.
He's had an engine failure, I think, as well.
Has he? Oh, he's parked up. It's another engine failure. Calamities here for the Zesty Racing team. He's done. He's done. He's cooked it.
Yeah, he went down too many gears too quickly, and it just popped his engine.
Ah, it's popped. It's popped. He's popped his cherry there, and he's done. He's done. And Zach is going to go for a cry now because he owns that team. So Adam Crane up into 5th place. Adam Crane at the moment. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but he's looking pretty damn decent right now. He's looking pretty damn decent. Up ahead, though, Kian still chasing after Sam, so nothing's changed there. Oh! Oh, no! Adam's lost it! We come back to Adam! He's lost! What has gone on for you, man? Adam's lost it. We cut back to him in the grass. I literally just jinxed it. It's the commentator's curse. It's the commentator's curse. Oh, no, I'm so sorry, Adam. I jinxed it for you, my man. I've jinxed
Talk about
it.
Craig, quick.
I've jinxed it. Craig, he's leading. Will he be leading soon? I don't know. Can I jinx him? We'll see. Oh, God. Adam, he's lost it. He's lost it. He's down to 7th. So right now, the running order is Craig Baxter out in the lead with 22 laps gone. We're officially halfway through this Grand Prix now. Don't go away. This is all still bubbling over for a very nice Grand Prix, especially behind these two, because behind Craig and Chem is 3rd place man Sam being chased down by Kian. 4th place Max Shepard now. So Max really gained. Really gained from all of that. He's in 5th place. Kieran Chadwick. He got spun by Daniel in the Drillers Motorsport team earlier. And he's now finding himself in 6th. So it's a great... It's turning back for them. So I don't want to jinx it for them. But it's looking on the up for the Korean Republic. Meanwhile, in 7th, it's Adam Crane after that spin. Thankfully, I don't think he had actually damage, so well done at least for not putting it into the barriers. But now he finds himself in 7th and being chased down by Yuso in the Nomex Racing team. Behind him, quite some way, is Nick Brackey in a world of his own. And the same can be said for Daniel Potter, just running his own race in the Drillers Motorsport team. Actually, to be fair, a little bit close behind him is Evan Rice, who, as we mentioned, has had a lot of torrid luck this afternoon in the 2nd Sabre team. The other one being Sam Carpenter, of course, in 3rd place, the 2 yellow cars. Then comes Adam Crane's teammate, Kevin Cox, who had a very quiet afternoon in 12th place. And then your retirees are Lorenz with an engine failure, Scott Davidson with an engine failure, both downshifting too fast, and that's why they have retired. And the same with Scott Davidson, yeah. And then you can see, man like Arava, that's just me. I'm actually just sat in the garage. I'm actually just commentating the race from the garage. Interesting facts that no one wanted to know. But let's go back up the order then. So, let's see, is that fight developing between Sam and Kian? About the same gap, I would say, Zach. I would say it's looking like just about 1 second near enough. So, pretty much the same for... The same gap between 1 and 2 and the same gap between 3 and 4. So these two individual dual battles, hopefully, for the sake of the stream, for the sake of the race, you know, it can actually get together like a domino. I don't know if dominoes do that, really, but I guess only if you set the first one off, then it happens, you know. So, let's move down
I feel
the
like
order.
this battle at the front is going to just bubble away, and it might kick off in the last few laps.
It
just looks like...
It
looks like Jem's holding station.
Perhaps waiting for Craig to bottle it? Like waiting for a mistake?
Under pressure.
Yeah, under pressure there. Under pressure, a bit of into the barrier moves. Under pressure, perhaps. But they're coming onto a lap car here now of Daniel.
We have a yellow in Sector 1.
Sector 1, yellow flags. Don't know what's going on there. Adam Crane's into the pits. Don't think anything's...
There's a front wing on the... Wait, what has happened here? There's a yellow front wing on the exit of Turn 1.
Oh, is that Evan? Is that Evan? Is it Evan? Has Evan had an issue? I can't see him.
Evan's out, yep.
He's out. He's out this race. Evan's crashed. We've missed it. But Evan Rice, the man who's already had about 5 million crashes in this race, is finally crashed out of the Grand Prix. He didn't have 9 lives. He only had, like, about 4.
You're on the sausage curb on the exit of Turn 1, and that was...
nasty. So the curb they're going to right now with Craig, he spun out on that curb. Unfortunate for him today. So now we're on board with Craig, and he's coming up to that lap car. He's not closing too fast. Behind him, the entire afternoon has been Chem. And now we've got Kevin Cox finally overtaking Evan, you know, in the running order after with that DNF. So is Craig going to come up to this car and overtake him in the next lap or so? Oh, Daniel with a bit of a lock up there. So Craig, the race leader, is getting ever closer. So that may be, I don't know, I don't want to jinx it, but it may be quite awkward. Who knows? Who knows? There may be a bit of blocking, and you never know. Some tactics could work out. I don't know if I don't know if he's partial to some dirty dealings, but he could be on the radio right now to Daniel. You never know. You never know. Anything could happen. Adam Crane now has overtaken Nick Brackey, as I'm guessing Brackey's in the pits. And now Craig really closing up in the last corner to this lap car now. And he's got out of the way. He's got out of the way. So no qualms there. The two race leaders continue on. And now, behind, still the battle goes on between Carpenter and Kian White for third and fourth. This, again, has been a battle that's been about 1 second since it kind of got into this position. If you don't know, Sam was running third. He overtook Scott Davidson, who's now out of this Grand Prix. But Scott Davidson and Sam are level on points. Sam overtook Scott for third, then spun out. Then came back into this fight a little bit to re-overtake Scott on track, but technically out of sync. And now he's on the soft tyres trying to go long, and he finds himself defending from Kian, who was initially trying to overtake Scott. There's a lot of information to take in there, but yeah. that's how. If you did follow me, well done. You get a gold star. But that's what's kicking off for third and fourth. Meanwhile, behind, Max Shepard in fifth place for Vulcan Racing, the second Vulcan car, so both Vulcans in fourth and fifth doing a decent job for themselves. Adam Crane up into seventh place as Yuso, I think, has made a mistake or something. He's overtaken him, like legitly. I don't think
he's in the pit lane.
I don't think. Oh no, Yuso, we can't. Is he smoking? No, a little bit of smoke. But I can't the pit lane, but that's fine. It's fine. I thought maybe I maybe jinxed it there and came on for a third time to someone blowing up their engine, but no, it's fine. It's all fine. A little bit wayward, but it's fine. Yeah. So Adam Crane in seventh. We've got the beautiful Korean racing team, Kieran Chadwick, in sixth place with, you know, just someone's logo on the side. I'm not going to mention names, but might be mine, on the side. And he's going well in Sector 1, trying to chase down Max Shepard in Vulcan Racing. So maybe that will bubble over. So we've got 2x2s, basically, for fights. We've got 1 and 2, we've got 3 and 4, and we may get 5 and 6, which is going to be brilliant. And then behind them, Adam, he's getting some time there because he pit. He's now on the super soft tyres in this race. So now he's getting some pace, obviously, but it's now kind of equalising a little bit. Now the race settles into a bit of a, well, I would say all too familiar sight, Zach, with Craig leading the way, but
yes. Something new, though, with Jem so close to him.
Exactly.
Yeah. These two will probably just run away on the super softs, especially considering Sam and Kian are on the softs.
Apparently Craig is currently shouting at backmarkers, even though I can't see any backmarkers ahead of him. So that's quite an achievement there for Craig, to be shouting at backmarkers that aren't actually there. So that's, you know, nothing new. He is known to have a bit of a short fuse. And Kieran's overtaken Mac. That's because Mac's in the pits. No, not to worry. Don't worry, we didn't miss an overtake there. Mac's just in the pits.
Here comes his teammate, Kian on Sam. Up into turn 2. He's looked a lot closer than he has before.
A lot closer. A lot closer. Yeah, definitely. He's only about half a car length there. And I think he might have got some good traction there, so let's ride on board.
DRS as well.
He's got DRS here, so towards Sector 2. Will he make a pop down the inside? He goes for the lunge. And he's gone wide. Sam does the switchback move. And he's got it back. So they go side by side. And they do battle. The battle commences. The battle commences here for third place, the podium position. At the moment, Sam keeps the third place. Back on him. And behind them, it was Kieran up into fifth as Max Shepard pits. Max only lost 1 position though. He's come out in sixth, just ahead of Adam Crane. But let's go back to this fight through the last corner. It's Kian White chasing down Sam Carpenter in the Vulcan Racing team. Sam Carpenter in the Sabre yellow liveried team into turn 1. Is Kian going to get a good run? Obviously, he'll have DRS after turn 2, so he needs to get a good run, good slipstream into turn 2. Basically set himself up for that back straight as they climb up the hill. We're going to run on board once again with Kian. Let's see if we can get him. Get the traction. He's a lot further back than last time, so if he makes the dive bomb here, I'll be impressed. But I don't think it's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. So Sam at the moment stays ahead, trying to get away. The Brit, number 46, as you can see in the helmet there, at the moment, still keeping that podium. Meanwhile, up ahead, Chem is gone a bit faster in Sector 1, but then lost some time in Sector 2 and 3. But it looks like he's closer. It does look like he's a little bit closer, just a tad. It's 5/10 now. The gap, it's brilliant. From the start of this race, the gap was about 1.1 seconds. It's then gone down to 0.8 for a lot of laps, and now it's about 0.6, 0.5. So, at this rate, by the end of the Grand Prix, like you said, Zach, this could get to absolute scene time if it continues like that.
We've got a double pit stop here. Sam and Kian have followed each other in.
It's a pit stop battle. Who's going to win it? Kian's further down the pit lane. Sam onto the super soft tyres. And Kian, he's going to get there. Oh, he's not jumped him. No, it's a decent pit stop for both. Equal pit stop. And they're both onto the super soft tyres as Matt comes through. This is going to be interesting. Where is he going to be? I think he'll be comfortably behind, I should think. Yep. Kian in 5th. Sam in 4th. Ahead now is Kieran. He's on the super soft tyres, but they're looking a little bit warm there. A little bit of graining. So he will be coming in, I suspect. So it probably will be Sam and Kian once again fighting for P3 effectively. But they're on the same tyre. So they're going to be, again, on the same strategy. So they're going to go to the end probably, Zach, I would imagine, now.
Yeah, I would assume so. But looking at Craig and Jem have gone quite some time on these super softs compared to Sam and Kian on the softs. So these two, the leading pack, have actually gone further on super softs than Sam and Kian on the softs.
Well, yeah, looking at the on the left-hand side now on your screen, ladies and gents, you can see, as Zach just mentioned, these top two are the only ones yet to pit. And also Kieran, sorry. The top 3 yet to pit for that 3rd pit stop. It is expected to be a 3-stop afternoon. So those 3 yet to pit. So that's Craig Baxter, the leader, the pole position man in the Defiance Racing team. Super sub, Chem in 2nd place. And then Kieran Chadwick in the Korean Racing team in 3rd place. All yet to pit yet for their 3rd pit stop there. But now we look back at the gaps. You can see it's all very close between the top 2. And then there's a huge, huge gap to 3rd place. Which we're running on.
Here come the
there we go. Pack. Pit stop time. How's it going to shape out? Are they going to... They probably won't come into the traffic because there's a good enough gap. It's going to be Nick Brackey, I think that is, going through. He's lapped already. Bit of a bad camera angle. There's a better camera angle. Nothing funny's happened. And they both go on to the Ultra Softs. So, we have a very interesting battle ahead as we're on board now with Craig. On board with Chem. Is there going to be anything that goes on into turn 2? This may be the only time he gets a chance, perhaps. Will he go for it? No.
No.
Not
DRS
yet.
Along this next
He's
straight.
He's going to DRS, though. Will he have enough to close up? As Sam is overtaking Kieran, as Kieran's in the pits now. So everyone's made their 3-stop strategy now. But Chem unable to do anything yet. And he's once again just going to look at the back of that purple car. So now
very close between Kieran and Mac, as Mac Kieran peels out of the pit lane.
Oh yeah, they're side by side, and Mac just about gets it on Kieran. Kieran was, I think, Kieran was ahead of Mac before these pit stops, and now Kieran goes side by side to try and get the position back. Mac's ahead right now. Let's ride on board. Let's change that camera angle. There we go. They go side by side. Mac's trying to switch back. Will it work? Will he pick up the traction? Just about, potentially. They're going to go side by side through the next corner. Will he just about hang it? No! Oh, no, he's off! He's off! He's in the gravel. Kieran's forced him wide. And he's lost a lot of time there. Noble effort, Mac. Noble effort. I think there may have been a pinch. Let's see. Is Kieran going to slow?
Yeah, there was some contact between them.
There was some contact. So will Kieran slow and let Mac down? We'll see. It's obviously it's a gentleman's sport, and we'll see if he is going to be gentlemanly enough to slow down. But right behind Mac, the thing is Adam Crane is right there. So Kieran can't afford to slow down too much to let Mac through. Otherwise, he'll fall back behind Crane. So that's the tricky thing. It looks like he's going... I can't quite tell, really, to be honest. I think he's going reasonably just normal pace. So I don't know. I think he's going to take matters into his own hands and just continue on. Mac apparently wasn't that angry, actually. He's just complaining about tyres. According to the chat, we've got Scott Live HD in the chat who's giving us an inside scoop into the Discord channel. So apparently Mac is not too salty about that. He's just struggling for tyres, maybe. And Adam Crane, that is apparent, really, because Adam Crane's right behind him now. And may go down the inside! Woo!
He looks like he's just
Mac's a man struggling.
Overdriving, I think, yeah.
Yeah. I think Mac's doing a stroll here, just overdriving the car. Perhaps even a Bottas just overdriving the car. But Adam is going to come into the pit, so Mac's worries will end with that, really. So now we move forward. Kieran in 5th. Kian in 4th. Sam on the super soft tyres. And he's got a bit of a gap to Kian now, so I would imagine, unless there's an issue, Adam Crane pits, and he's back behind Yuso now. So Yuso, who was quite down the order now, finds himself in a brilliant 7th place. But Sam, I imagine, if he doesn't make an issue, if he doesn't make a mistake, he'll find himself probably in 3rd, unless Kian can pull something out of the bag astronomically. But that's a very good race for Sam if it ends like this, because Sam, again, if you're just joining or you're new, you missed it. Sam did overtake from 6th to 3rd at the beginning of this race, then spun, and has had to basically recover back up to 3rd. And he's done so brilliantly. And his main championship rival, Scott Davidson, is out of this Grand Prix with a double downshift. So this is big points for Sam. They're level on points, 91 apiece. So this is a big 15 points that Sam can get. It'll mean a lot to him, of course, for the championship's sake, to get into 2nd place. Meanwhile, back up ahead, it's pretty much been the same way for the entire race. 1-2 between Craig Baxter and Chem in the Super Sub team. Craig Baxter racing for Defiance. The second Defiance car being Scott Davidson, who went out earlier on with a double downshift. So there's Sam, 3rd. Kian, a little bit of a gap behind. Then a bigger gap behind. Yuso's pitting, so Adam Crane will get back up into 7th place, I imagine. There you go, on the left there. So Kieran in 5th, Max Shepard 6th. Looking like he's back on pace. Looks like he's found his composure, so maybe he'll try and chase down the man in the Korean team and try and ruin the party for the Holy Republic. Meanwhile, Adam Crane, 7th place, ahead of Yuso once again on super soft tyres. Yuso also on ultra soft tyres, I should say. I meant ultra softs. So those two on ultra softs. So Yuso will try and use that to good use, as we've only got 7 laps left. Yuso actually closing up to Chem, so he's been lapped already. We've got Mac going through on super soft, and he pits. Mac struggling with tyres, and he has to pit again. So I think that's his 4th stop of the afternoon. Yes, it is, I think.
Yep.
Yes. 4th stop for Mac. So he saw an insight from Discord that Mac was struggling with his tyres, and that is the case. So he comes in the pits. He's probably going to strap on ultra softs. Yes, he does. And it's a good getaway for him.
Behind Adam and Yuso as well.
Yes, it will be, as Adam goes through into 6th place. Mac comes through, and it's going to be close, but Mac is not going to get lapped for now. But you can clearly see there behind him is the race leader, Craig Baxter. Let's ride on board with Mac here. This will be a nice view to kind of watch the 2 race leaders from. But Mac will have to pull over at some point with blue flags. We won't want to anger the Scotsman, and he does pull over. And there goes Craig, and there goes Chem. Oh, it's closer between Chem and Mac, but he's done it. And all order is restored. So those are your 2 race leaders. Still 1-2. Behind them, Sam. Looks like Kian is, well, let's look at the lap times here on the left-hand side. The gap times, I should say. It's 2 seconds just about, 3 seconds just about. Let's see if that does close up in the closing stages. And then you've got, I can see some hype for the Korean racing team. So let's just ride on board and watch this amazing team in 5th place. If you didn't know the Koreans, you do now know them now. Kieran Chadwick racing for them. Proud for the red and blue and starred stripe team in 5th place. Who would have thought? Of course, probably in the Korean tabloids, they'll probably say Kieran won the race, but that's just Korea, obviously.
It's a 1-2.
It's a 1-2. The second Korean car's not even racing today, but in the Korean newspaper, you'll probably see a 1-2 for KRT, even though it's only 5th, but, you know, that's just Korea. Adam Crane, decent job in 6th, actually, to be fair. Max Shepard trying to close him down in 7th place, but he's obviously got Craig and Chem ahead of him. He's been lapped, so he's going to have a bit of issues trying to really close up.
Chem does look a lot closer than he looks to have closed the gap.
It's about 4/10 now. Yeah, you're right. It was 6/10 before. Now it's 2/10. So let's see. We've got just about 5 laps to go. When we cross this mark, it will be 5 laps to go. Will we see any sort of move? The entire afternoon, Chem has been in second place, just unable to make a pop at Craig. So we'll see. We'll see and hope. I feel like a dive bomb's needed at some point later on in this race. Just to, you know, just to test the wall. Even if it's not a dive bomb down the inside. Oh, Craig locks up a little bit.
Well, there's a bit of a lock-up.
Bit of a lock-up. I just feel like, not even like a going for a move dive bomb. Just a I'm there in the mirrors dive bomb, if you know what I mean, chat. Just to spook him a little bit, you know? Just a little bit, just a little bit. Oh, that's not the camera angle I wanted. We move to 3rd place, Sam. Still in 3rd, doing a brilliant job, and he looks like he's got this comfortably from Kian. Although, I think the gap's come down slightly between Kian and Sam, so don't know. It's just about if Sam bottles it or not, really, at the end.
Sam being Sam, we will never know.
Well, yeah. Sam Carpenter, if you don't know, he is known for a good bottle. So, we'll have to see. But let's just show you more of that Korean team, eh? With that beautiful logo on the side you can see there. Not biased at all. Right, we've got 4 laps left as we go on. Let's go back to the race leaders as they enter that 41st lap here. Let's ride on board, in fact, with Chem. Let's just ride on board with him. And let's see if he can close up any amount. Oh, bit of a lock-up, although he's gone wide himself. That's not going to help him. That's not going to help him.
Max Shepard might look to unlap himself here on Chem.
As you look behind, there is Mac behind, as Zach just mentioned. Chem still trying his hardest. Both of these guys on super softs. And nothing separates them. Nothing at all. I mean, if you weren't here earlier, you may have missed it. But, these guys were separated by less than 1,000th in Q1. So these guys are close. These guys are close. These guys are definitely very close. But let's take you through the running order anyway, with 3 laps to go. It's Craig Baxter for Defiance Racing, leading the championship by 77 points. So basically leading by Bottas worth the points. Oh, and he's lost it though. He got a little bit of a scrappy exit, but he's leading the way from Chem to Sam Carpenter in 3rd place, trying to overtake Scott Davidson, who is out of this Grand Prix. So Sam will get 2nd place in the championship after this race if he does not bottle it in the last few laps in the dying stages. Kian White in 4th place in Vulcan Racing, in the first Vulcan Racing. Kieran in the Korean racing team in 5th place. Adam Crane now up into 6th place, with Max Shepard having tyre issues earlier in the 2nd Vulcan Racing. He's actually trying to get the toe from Chem in 2nd. He's been lapped, so just trying to use that to his aid. Then you got 8th place, Yuso in the Nomex team. Nick Brackey, very quiet afternoon for him in the Phoenix team in 9th place. And then the last points paying position is Daniel in the Drillers Motorsport team. And it looks like Kieran is coming up to lap Daniel, which is very contentious because if you missed it, Daniel actually spun Kieran round earlier in the Grand Prix. So that's going to be a bit of a tense moment for them, I imagine. But now let's look back to the top 5. Chem, it's the last lap of the Grand Prix. So I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be, Zach.
Yeah, he's close, but not close enough, I don't think, to make a move.
Just not. Yeah, no. It's not unsurprising. Let's put it this way: if you're new to Nebula, this is not untoward. Craig's dominated seasons gone by, and he's leading by 77 points for crying out loud in the championship. So it's not a surprise really, but it's another fantastic drive for him. For the Scotsman in the Defiance Purple Racing team, comes through the last 2 corners, last corner, and this is going to be the win at the Austrian Grand Prix. Pulled to the right to celebrate. It's going to be Chem in the 2nd place position, super sub coming home. He's pressurised him all race long, but not quite. And so now we look towards third place man, Sam Carpenter. I hope I don't jinx it, but let's see. And Mac apparently has crashed. Mac has crashed on the last lap.
At the back. It's okay, he didn't lose any positions because he was lapped, so he just had to
He was lapped, so he will come home in 7th because he was lapped, but he did bottle it. Let's just keep that on record. Max Shepard did bottle it in the last lap. But Sam Carpenter comes through for 3rd place to take 2nd place in the championship. That'll be good for him. He'll be very happy after he spun out earlier on in the Grand Prix and was down in, at one point, 13th place. So done very well for himself there, the Brit in 13th. Kieran White in 4th place for Vulcan Racing, the first of the Vulcan Racing. Kieran Chadwick proudly comes home for 5th place for the Korean public in the Korean racing team. Obviously, that will be 1st place in the Korean newspapers tomorrow morning. Adam Crane in 6th place there comes home after a bold strategy going long on the soft tyres. Does come home for 6th place. That's a good position for him, I feel, after the struggles in the first stint. And then Max Shepard, of course, did crash out on the last lap, but because he was lapped, he does keep 7th. 8th place is Yuso. 9th place is Nick Brackey. And in the last points paying position is Daniel Potter. The people who are out of this Grand Prix, well, Kevin Cox now out of this Grand Prix, but he finishes 11th. The people who were out of this Grand Prix are Evan Rice, who DNF'd after a crash. You can see his car here. 13th place man, Lawrence, with a double downshift engine failure. Scott Davidson, same issue, engine failure, double downshift, we believe, in the teammate of Craig Baxter, the man who won this race. And he crucially loses 15 points to Sam Carpenter in the championship. And obviously, there's my car. That's where I've been commentating from this entire race, if you didn't know. So, there you go. There is the Austrian Grand Prix. As Kian parks it up, as the cars come through, it's going to be Chem parking it up there, and Craig Baxter. Let's ride on board with him as he comes into this pit box. And that's going to be him very satisfied this afternoon with 1st place in the Austrian Grand Prix. Parks it up. Fantastic drive for him. Fantastic drive for him. So, that has been the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm not too sure of the procedure now, Zach. Do we have any post-race nuptials, or I think that may be it? I think that may be it.
Yeah, I believe so.
I believe so. So, I think that is going to be it for the Nebula Racing stream for round 9 of the Austrian Grand Prix. It was Craig Baxter taking the win from Chem, the super sub. Second off race in this championship. Sam Carpenter, after spinning at the beginning of the Grand Prix, down to 13th, comes home in 3rd place. Kieran White 4th, Kieran Chadwick 5th place, Adam Crane 6th, Max Shepard 7th, Yuso in 8th place, Nick Brackey 9th, Daniel Potter in 10th, Kevin Cox in 11th, and Evan Rice, Lawrence, Scott Davidson, all retirement out of this Grand Prix with either a crash or engine failures. But that has been the Austrian Grand Prix, round 9 of Nebula Racing. Please do follow Nebula Racing on Twitter. Check out their website. Nino, if you can kindly post that in chat for the ladies and gents. Check out Nebula Racing on Twitter. If you do want to join this league, it is a free entry right now. It used to have a fee, but you can join this league now for free. So go over to their Twitter, sign up on the website, and you can actually sign up your own team. You can manage your own team, and you can actually sign up as a driver or just as a team manager. I believe there are some teams looking for drivers potentially, so go over there, check it out if you did enjoy this afternoon. And over there as well, you'll find the updated championship order. But I'm not going to lie, nothing's changed in terms of number 1. Craig Baxter extending his lead in the championship there with 77 points already gone, and he's extended there brilliantly. But I think that's going to be it for us today. So thanks for joining us. If you did enjoy the stream, hit that follow button on this channel, Nebula Racing. Zach, it's been a pleasure, my man. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and it's been a great one. We'll see you guys next time. You've been a fantastic audience. And we will see you guys next time.